Hi there, let's take a look at your submission for the Chapter 1 bin level. So I want to let you know that I went ahead and deleted submission 1 to create more room for you to correct and submit your work. And then the other thing is, as you mentioned in your email, submission 2 has the higher score. So what I'm going to recommend is, so you had 3 submissions. I deleted submission number 1. So now you only have 2 submissions in the My IT Lab system. Currently, what's called submission 1 is your highest score. I'm going to recommend that you work with that submission. That's the submission results that I have displayed on the screen here. And then what I want you to do, so I want you to advance in My IT Lab to look at your results. On the right-hand side, I want you to click this button where it says Download Submitted File. Download the copy of this submission and open up that file in Excel. I've already done that, and I also have that up and running ready for us. And then from there, we can go ahead and make the corrections that the system wants us to make. So let's take a look. Step 4 says, enter a formula that calculates the number of days the first house was on the market. You have some points, so I'm going to go ahead and click the arrow to see what about that didn't it like. And it tells me cell E5 was not set to D5 minus C5. So let's go take a look. Back over to your file. I'm going to make sure that I'm active on houses sold because that's where we developed this. And then we're going to take a look at days on market. So what it wants is, and then also I just want to mention one other thing. Notice here, it tells you exactly what it's looking for. So it's looking for the formula to be equals D5 minus C5. So let's go ahead and type that in. Equals D5 minus C5. And then let's take a look at what, well, I'm going to hit enter. And then let's take a look at why that happens. And actually, I'm going to make these columns a little bit wider so we can see if the answer is correct. Okay, so why do we want this calculation? Well, what we're doing is we're calculating the difference between these 2 days. So we're just saying date sold minus the date that the house was listed for sale. That's the difference between those 2 dates. That's why we want to use a subtraction. And then the other thing I want you to start doing is I want you to start paying attention to the results that Excel displays for you. Notice your results were all a 1, and you should be able to look at that and think, well, gee, that doesn't seem right. Days on the market, they were only on the market for 1 day. I know that's not right. It was from November to March. And so go back and experiment and see if you can try a different calculation that would give you the result. Okay, now that I have that in E5, I'm going to use autofill. So I'm going to move my mouse over the autofill command. I'm going to give it a double click, 1, 2. Oh, maybe try that again. I'm going to select E5 and right there on the autofill command, 1, 2, there it goes. And then it copies that formula down the rest of the way. So now I can see, well, November to March, oh yeah, that does make a little more sense that it's 106 days. So in the classroom, I always like to tell my students that working with Excel is kind of like training my Labrador. I can train my Labrador to go get my slippers, but every once in a while she brings back my flip-flops. So you have to keep an eye on the answers, and you as the human have to determine, are they correct? This last one is an easy one, right? Because even I can look at this and think, oh yeah, 14 days. That's right, days on the market, 14 days. And then that's also the beauty of Excel, is that you can, if it doesn't give you the right answer, just undo and try again. Okay, so that should give you all the points. Oh, wait, sorry. It says format the range with number format and 0 decimal places. Oh, you have that done. See, so it gave you the points for that number format. Good. All right, let's move on. Step 9 says insert a new column between date sold and list price, move the data over, and then delete that empty column. So you got most of the points. Let's take a look and see what it wants you to do. E5, was not set, the content was not set to 90. So what's happening here is that because the earlier step was in error, it actually is also deducting a little bit here. Because we've already corrected that, these points will be given back to you. So for right now, ignore step 9. Step 10, Edit the list day of Chestnut Circle to be 422 and the list price of Amsterdam to be 355. Again, it gave you most of the points. Let's take a look. E9 was not set to 26. Oh, all right. So, yep, it's a cascading effect again. Yeah, because that other step was in error. This happens a lot where it's a cascading effect where it deducted points here, but we've already fixed that step, so these points will come to you. Let's keep scrolling down, see what else. Apply 120% scaling. So I'm going to go back to houses sold. Under the page layout tab, here's my scale. This is the scaling. And I'm going to click the up arrow to get this up to 120%. And remember that, you'll have remembered from working in the chapter, that scaling does not affect what we see on the screen. It only affects how it's printed. So we're scaling up. This information on the printed page is going to get bigger. It's going to be scaled up. Okay, so that should be that step. And anything else? Oh, that's it. So once you've made those two corrections, go ahead, save your work. You now have the space to resubmit, and it should be 100%. I'm going to cross my fingers for you. If it's not, or you have any other questions, email me at any time.